What if I told you that losing her was actually the best thing to ever happen to you? What if I told you that the heartbreak you're feeling right now isn't a sign of weakness, but the spark that can ignite your growth? Too many men fall apart when a woman chooses someone else, drowning in regret, asking, "What did I do wrong?" But that's not the path for you. A stoic man doesn't beg, he doesn't chase, he doesn't shrink. When she picked another man, that was her choice, and it had nothing to do with your worth. The truth is, in that moment, you were given a choice. Will you stay stuck, broken and unsure? Or will you rise, transform, and become someone even greater than before? A stoic man understands. He's never defined by what happens outside of him. You now have the opportunity to become a force that cannot be shaken, a man who wins by simply letting go. What if I told you that this setback is the very thing that's going to make her regret walking away? She may think you're lost, but soon enough she'll see the powerful, untouchable man you've become. If you're ready to take control, master your emotions, and show her exactly what she threw away, then stay with me. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because what you're about to learn will change your life. Drop a comment below. Let's discuss how you can rise above and master the art of letting go. Number 1. The mirage of love. Love. It feels so real, doesn't it? The way she laughed with you, the way she leaned in close, the promises whispered late at night. It all felt like it could last forever. But here's the harsh truth. What you thought was love was never really love. It was a mirage, a fleeting illusion created by your emotions, your own mind. And now, as she walks away, you're faced with the crushing reality. Love, at its core, is never as pure as we imagine. Most men make the mistake of building their entire world around a woman. They pour in their time, their energy, their heart, believing she'll always be by their side. But feelings are temporary. They're as unpredictable as the weather. One day she says she's in love with you, the next she's in someone else's arms, like you were never there. And now you're left asking, how did she move on so quickly? Here's the answer. She never saw love the way you did. Men love with loyalty, with logic, with a sense of permanence. To us, a woman is the partner, the future, the one we want to build a life with. But women, well, they love differently. They love based on how they feel in the moment, driven by emotions, excitement, and the constant need for novelty. When the thrill fades, when the routine sets in, they begin to look elsewhere. Not because you weren't enough, but because she was never meant to stay forever. This is the illusion of love. The idea that it's unshakable, that devotion lasts no matter what, that she'll always be there. It's a fairy tale we've all been sold. But the Stoic man sees through the illusion. He understands that everything in life, even love, is temporary. He doesn't cling to something that's destined to fade. He embraces detachment. When a woman chooses another man, most men panic. They beg, they text, they chase after her, trying to show her their worth. But all they're doing is giving away their power. The moment you beg for validation from someone who's already moved on, you're telling her that she controls you. A Stoic man, however, never gives away his power. He doesn't chase someone who's already made their choice. Instead, he lets go, steps back, and understands a simple truth. She was never his to lose. And it's in this acceptance that true strength lies. When you stop viewing love as something you must hold on to, as something to fight for at all costs, you release yourself from the grip of heartbreak. You become untouchable. The man who can't be broken by love is the one who commands respect. The man who doesn't chase is the one who is chased. And the man who doesn't need her is the one she'll regret walking away from. Now, it's time for you to adopt this mindset. Stop seeing her departure as your loss. See it as your lesson. You weren't defeated, You were freed. The illusion has been shattered, and now you're able to see the truth clearly. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. A stoic man sees through the illusion of love. Number 2. Master your emotions. Master your life. She expects you to crack. She expects you to fall apart, to drown in your emotions and beg for one last chance. She anticipates that you'll react impulsively, sending late-night texts, obsessing over her social media, or playing the victim. She thinks you'll beg, hoping for some validation to fill the emptiness she left behind. But here's the game changer: you won't. Because the moment you let your emotions control you, you lose. The weak man lets his feelings take over, but the stoic man knows this fundamental truth. Control your emotions, and you control your life. Think about it. What happens when you allow your emotions to dominate? You become impulsive, reckless, and unpredictable. You act out of desperation, chasing after a lost cause. Every time you react in pain or fear, you hand over your power to her. The more you beg, the more she feels validated in her decision. You're playing her game and she's already moved on. But a stoic man, he's different. He doesn't suppress his emotions. He masters them. He doesn't deny his pain, but he doesn't let it govern his actions. He chooses how to respond. He steps back, detaches, and understands that his strength isn't measured by the absence of emotion, but by his ability to remain unshaken, no matter how intense the storm. Imagine this. A fire burns within you. The anger, the pain, the frustration of losing someone important. A weak man lets that fire destroy him, acting on impulse and hurting himself in the process. But a stoic man? He doesn't let the fire control him. He uses it as fuel, as motivation, as a force that drives him to rise above. That is true power, not in needing someone, not in proving your worth, but in remaining completely unmoved by the chaos. The moment you stop reacting, stop chasing, stop seeking validation, you win. And here's the twist. When she sees that you're unfazed, that you didn't crumble, didn't chase, didn't lose yourself, that's when the doubt creeps in. She starts wondering if she made the right choice. She questions if you were more valuable than she ever realized. And in that moment, the power shifts. Because a man who controls himself is a man who controls everything. Women are attracted to strength, mystery, and the unknown. The instant she senses she no longer has any hold on your emotions, she starts to question everything. And that is when the shift occurs. The man who doesn't need validation, who isn't controlled by his emotions, is the man she regrets losing. So here's your challenge. Don't react. Don't chase. Don't give her the satisfaction of seeing you fall apart. Instead, walk away with your head held high, completely unmoved by the turmoil around you. You're no longer the man who begs for love. You're the man who stands tall, walks away with confidence, and leaves the past in the past. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. Power is not in reaction, but in control. Number 3. The power of walking away. Walking away isn't a loss. It's a victory. The moment you walk away, you reclaim your value, regain control, and force her to feel the weight of your absence. That's when the real power shift happens. Most men, though, make the mistake of clinging. They text endlessly, pouring out their heart, hoping she'll suddenly have an epiphany and come back. But here's the cold truth. She already knew. She knew exactly what she was doing when she walked away. She knew you loved her, and she knew it would hurt you, but she still made her choice. Now, it's your turn. Will you degrade yourself by begging for someone who's already moved on? Will you keep holding on to someone who has let you go? Or will you do what the stoic man does? Walk away without hesitation, without explanation, and without regret. A Stoic man understands that walking away isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. Weak men cling. Weak men try to fix what's broken. Weak men beg for love that's already been withdrawn. But a man who knows his value doesn't plead. He doesn't chase. He simply removes himself from a situation that no longer serves him. And here's the twist. The moment you walk away, she starts to feel the impact. She starts to wonder why you didn't fight for her. Why didn't you beg? Why didn't you get desperate? She expected tears. She expected desperation. She expected you to prove to her that she was the one. But instead, you disappeared. You left her standing there with nothing to grasp, questioning if she was ever truly important to you. And that's where the power lies. Because here's the truth. People only value what they fear losing. As long as you're there, as long as you're available, as long as you're waiting, she knows she still has you. But the moment you walk away for good, that's when the regret begins to creep in. Most women don't immediately regret losing a man. They only regret it when they see that you've moved on to something better. A better life, a better mindset, a better version of yourself. They regret it when they see you thriving without them, when they realize you're unreachable, unbothered, and living your best life. That's when they realize they no longer have access to you. And here's why walking away is the ultimate power move. It's not about playing games or making her miss you. It's about understanding that a king never begs. A king doesn't convince anyone to stay in his kingdom. A king simply lets those who want to leave walk out and doesn't look back. Once you adopt this mindset, you'll notice a shift in your energy. You'll stop being the man who begs for love and start becoming the man who is worthy of it. True value is never found in desperation. True value is found in detachment. The man who walks away first is the one who wins. And now, you are that man. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. A king never begs. Number 4. Silence is your greatest weapon. Silence, it's the most powerful weapon in your arsenal. No long messages, no begging, no desperate attempts to convince her she made a mistake. Just complete silence. Because while most men try to fix things with words, a Stoic man knows that his absence speaks louder than anything he could ever say. When a woman leaves, she expects a reaction. She expects anger, sadness, pleading, or for you to try to change her mind. But when you give her nothing, when you vanish without a word, a seed of doubt is planted in her mind. That's silence. It's deafening. It's louder than any argument, any text, any plea, and it forces her to sit with her decision, to question it, to wonder if she made the right choice. That's when the shift happens. Most men crumble when a woman walks away. They send paragraphs, explaining themselves, begging for closure, hoping for one last conversation. But every word you send is a reminder that she still holds power over you. And that's exactly why silence is your greatest weapon. It takes away her control and creates mystery. She starts wondering, why hasn't he reached out? Does he not care? Did I make the wrong choice? And that's when the dynamic changes. The same woman who left, convinced she was making the right decision, starts questioning everything. Because a man who can walk away without a word, without a glance, without turning back, is a man who is rare. And women always crave what's rare. Silence also gives you something priceless. Space, no distractions, no checking your phone for a text, no waiting for her to change her mind. Instead, you channel that energy into yourself, into your growth, your goals, your self-improvement. While she's expecting you to fall apart, you're thriving, and that's where real power lies. Here's the thing. Most women don't feel the loss of a man right away. They don't immediately regret their decision. But after days, weeks, or even months of silence, that regret begins to creep in. She might test you, send a casual, "Hey," a random text to see if you'll respond. But this is where most men fail. When you respond, you give her power again. She's not reaching out because she misses you. She's reaching out to see if you're still an option. But a stoic man, he remains silent. He knows that responding only serves her ego, not his value. He understands that his time, his presence, and his energy are privileges, not something to be taken for granted. And once she threw them away, she lost them. That's the power of silence. It shifts the control back into your hands. It makes her realize that she underestimated you. It forces her to feel the emptiness of a world where you no longer exist in her life. And in the end, she's the one who sees exactly what she lost. So here's what you need to do. Say nothing. Walk away, disappear. Let her mind work for you. Because the man who stays silent is the man she'll never forget. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. Silence speaks louder than words. Number 5. Level up and become unreachable. The greatest revenge isn't anger. It's not trying to prove her wrong. It's not even making her miss you. The greatest revenge is becoming the man she can no longer have. A man so evolved, so powerful, so untouchable that even if she wanted to come back, she wouldn't even be in your league anymore. Here's the truth. Most men sit in their pain. They overanalyze the breakup, obsess over the past, and stay stuck in a cycle of regret. But a stoic man doesn't waste time or energy on those things. He channels every ounce of that pain into building himself. He doesn't just move on, he levels up. And that's the moment you separate yourself from 99% of men. While she expects you to be broken and defeated, you're out there transforming. She's looking for validation from another man while you're creating a version of yourself that she will never have access to again. This is where your mindset must shift. Every workout, every book, every business move, every dollar you make, it's not about proving anything to her. It's about proving something to yourself. That you were always the prize, that you never needed her, that she was just a chapter in your story, not the entire book. When a man commits to self-improvement fully, he becomes untouchable. He becomes rare, and women chase what is rare. They don't regret losing a man who stayed the same. They regret losing a man who evolved past them. Picture this. Months from now, you're in the best shape of your life. Your mind is sharp, your focus is laser-like, your money is right, and your energy is magnetic. You walk into any room, and people feel your presence. You no longer seek validation, you command it. And when she sees this new version of you, the regret hits her like a storm. She'll wonder why she left. She'll wonder if she misjudged you. She'll wonder if she made the wrong choice. But here's the cruel reality. The man she left is no longer the man she sees. And now she can't have him back. You've leveled up, and you're beyond her reach. You're no longer the man stuck in the past, waiting for closure. You are now the man who decides who is worthy of your time, your energy, and your presence. This is what true power looks like. It's not about getting her back. It's about becoming the man who makes every woman regret ever walking away. And once you've reached that level, you won't even care about her regret anymore. So stop thinking about her. Stop checking her social media. Stop waiting for signs that she misses you. Take every moment of pain and turn it into fuel. Hit the gym, build your empire, sharpen your mind. Because the man who becomes untouchable, he wins. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. Evolve so she no longer fits your world. Number 6. Dark psychology. Reverse the power dynamic. Right now she thinks she holds all the power. She walked away. She chose someone else. She believes she made the right decision, and she assumes you're still thinking about her, still missing her, still wishing she would come back. But what happens when you stop caring? What happens when you flip the script? This is where dark psychology comes in. It's about shifting the power dynamic so that she is the one chasing you. And the secret? It's not manipulation. It's not playing games. It's indifference. The man who is indifferent, the man who is truly detached, is the man who holds all the power. Most men try to regain control by convincing a woman to come back. They post things online to get her attention. They try to make her jealous. They seek ways to stay relevant in her mind. But all of this stems from attachment, and attachment is weakness. The Stoic man, he disappears, not out of spite, not to get a reaction, but because he simply doesn't care anymore. And that's what makes her mind spiral. Because women expect men to chase. They expect men to wait in the background, hoping for another chance. But when you remove yourself entirely, when you go silent and become completely unreachable, she starts to panic. Now she's not sure anymore. She wonders why you haven't reached out. She wonders if you've already replaced her. She wonders if she ever really had control over you at all. And that uncertainty, that's what makes her regret. Here's the truth. Most men don't understand this. Women are drawn to what they can't control. The moment she feels like she's losing her grip on you, her mind begins to turn against her. The moment she senses she no longer affects you, you become valuable again. And the man who moves on first is the one who wins. Think about it. How many times have you seen a woman break up with a man only to try to come back once he's truly moved on? It's not because she suddenly realizes he was perfect. It's because she realizes she no longer has power over him. And that's what makes her want him again. This is how you reverse the power dynamic. You stop chasing. You stop waiting. You stop giving her any emotional reaction. And instead, you level up. Become unreachable. Make her feel your absence. Because silence is loud and indifference is intoxicating. And the best part, by the time she realizes she made a mistake, you won't even care anymore. She'll come back. She'll test the waters. She'll try to regain her position in your life, but you'll be so far ahead that she will no longer fit into your world. That's true power, not in trying to make her regret, but in evolving so far beyond her that her regret doesn't even matter anymore. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. He who controls himself controls others. Number 7. Attraction through detachment. The moment you stop caring is the moment she starts noticing. The moment you detach, you become magnetic, because nothing is more attractive than a man who is completely unaffected. Most men make the mistake of thinking attraction comes from pursuit. They believe that if they just try harder, say the right things, prove their worth, or show how much they care, she'll come back. But the truth? Attraction isn't created through effort. It's created through absence, through detachment, through the realization that she is no longer the center of your world. Women are emotional creatures. They live for validation. And when you remove that validation, when you stop giving her the attention she expects, she begins to crave it. She begins to wonder why you're not chasing, why you're not reacting, why you've moved on so easily. And here's the paradox. When you want her back, she feels no urgency. But when you genuinely stop caring, when you truly detach, she feels the void you left behind. And that void? It forces her to start chasing you. Because here's a truth that most men never understand. Women don't want a man who needs them. They want a man who is needed by no one. Neediness repels. Indifference attracts. When a man is emotionally independent, when he doesn't need a woman to feel whole, he becomes rare. He becomes the kind of man that women respect, admire, and secretly fear losing. And the ones who do lose him, they regret it for life. This is why detachment is so powerful. because it shifts the dynamic entirely. When she sees that you're no longer invested in her, when she sees that you're thriving without her, she starts to wonder, did I make a mistake? Was he actually better than I thought? Does he even think about me anymore? And when those thoughts start creeping in, she starts looking for signs that she still matters to you. She might reach out. She might react to your posts. She might even try to get your attention indirectly. But this is where most men fail, because the moment she gets any response from you, she knows she still has a place in your mind, and once she knows that, the game is over. A true Stoic man doesn't just act detached, he is detached. He doesn't use it as a tactic, he doesn't fake it to get a reaction, he genuinely moves forward. He builds, he thrives, he becomes the kind of man who is so focused on his mission, so locked in on his purpose, that a woman's absence is irrelevant to him. And that's what makes him irresistible, because women don't desire men who chase, they desire men they can't have. And when she realizes that you've truly moved on, that you no longer care whether she regrets her decision or not, that's when she starts feeling it. She lost something rare, something she will never find again. And now she has to live with that regret. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. True power is never needing her. Number 8. The inevitable return. Why does she come back? She thought she was making the right choice. She thought the grass was greener. She thought you would always be waiting in the background, hoping for another chance. But now she's starting to realize something. She was wrong. Because while she expected you to chase, to beg, to prove yourself, you did the opposite. You disappeared. You leveled up. You became unreachable, and now she's feeling the weight of that decision. This is the inevitable return. It happens when a man truly detaches, when he stops reacting, when he stops needing, when he stops giving her any energy. Because the brutal truth is, women rarely regret losing a man immediately. They only regret it when they see what they lost. And that takes time. At first, she's distracted, the excitement of something new, the thrill of attention, the temporary high of believing she made the right move. But after the dust settles, after the novelty fades, after she realizes that her new situation isn't as perfect as she thought, that's when the regret sets in. And when she looks back at you, expecting to see the man she left behind, she sees someone entirely different. She sees a man who is thriving, a man who has upgraded his life in every way, a man who no longer wants her, no longer needs her, no longer even thinks about her. And that's what makes her spiral. Because women are wired to desire what they can't have. And when she realizes that she can't have you anymore, that you've become someone she no longer has access to, she starts searching for a way back. She'll test the waters, a random text, a casual, "How have you been?" or a like on an old post. But here's where most men fail. They respond, they take the bait, they allow her back into their frame, hoping that this time will be different. But a Stoic man, he sees these tests for exactly what they are, a reaction to his indifference. She's not reaching out because she suddenly respects you. She's reaching out because your silence made her feel insecure. She wants to know if she still has power over you. She wants to see if she can still control you emotionally. But the moment you give her that validation, the moment you engage, the game resets. And suddenly she no longer feels like she lost you. She feels like you were just waiting for her to come back. That's why the Stoic man does nothing. He remains indifferent. He doesn't react. He doesn't respond. He keeps moving forward. Because he understands one undeniable truth. Once a woman leaves, she has already made her decision. And a man of value does not allow someone to make the same mistake twice. She will come back. They always do. But by the time she does, you will have outgrown her. You will have become a man so far beyond who you used to be that she no longer fits into your life, and that will be her greatest regret. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. Her regret is my silence. Number 9. The Stoic mindset. You were the prize all along. She didn't leave you, you let her go, and now you finally see the truth. You were the prize all along. At first, it didn't feel that way. When she walked away, when she chose another man, when she made you feel like you weren't enough, it seemed like you had lost. But the reality, she lost you. And that is a loss she will have to live with for the rest of her life. Because while she was out searching for something better, you were becoming something greater. You weren't crying over her. You weren't begging for another chance. You were building yourself into the kind of man who never has to chase again. You were creating a life so valuable, so powerful, so magnetic that her absence became completely irrelevant. And now you stand here looking back, and you smile because you understand something that most men never will. The man who masters himself, who controls his emotions, who never begs for love, that is the man who never loses. This is the Stoic mindset. It is the understanding that nothing outside of you defines your worth. Not a woman, not a relationship, not rejection, not loss. Your value comes from within. And once you truly embody this mindset, you become untouchable. You no longer fear losing someone because you know that a man who is truly valuable is never afraid to walk alone. You no longer seek validation from others because you validate yourself. You no longer chase love because you understand that the only love that matters is self-respect. And now she sees it. She sees the man you have become. She sees the strength, the success, the confidence, the absence of need. And that is why she regrets leaving. Because what she lost was not just a man. She lost an opportunity to be part of something great. But here's the difference. You don't care anymore. You don't care whether she regrets it or not. You don't care whether she misses you. You don't care about her choices, her mistakes, her feelings, because she is no longer part of your reality. You have won. Not because you got her back, not because she regrets it, but because you have transcended the version of yourself that once thought she was the best you could do, and now you know she was never your prize, you were hers. This is the final level, the moment you stop chasing, stop reacting, stop caring. You become the man who is in complete control of his destiny. And once you reach that level, everything, money, success, women, respect, comes to you effortlessly, because the man who needs nothing attracts everything. Like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below. A true Stoic man never loses. Final thoughts. The power of Stoicism. Now you understand. She didn't break you, she freed you. She didn't take away your happiness, she gave you the opportunity to build something greater. And in the end, it was never about her. It was always about you. The man who can master his emotions, who can walk away without hesitation, who can detach from what does not serve him, that is the man who wins in life. Because a Stoic man does not chase. A Stoic man does not seek validation. A Stoic man does not need. And that is what makes him powerful. So now you have a choice. Will you stay stuck in the past, obsessing over what's already gone, or will you take this pain, this lesson, and transform yourself into the kind of man who never experiences loss again? Because once you reach this level of strength, once you become a man who is truly untouchable, you will never be heartbroken again. Remember this. A man who knows his worth does not fear loss. A man who values himself does not need to convince anyone else to see it. And a man who is truly stoic is the man that everyone else regrets losing. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson. And before you go, drop a comment below. A true Stoic man never loses. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and remember, you were the prize all along.